Hey, fellow woodcutters, Topsaw here. I teach high school woodshop. This high school woodshop right here. I was going to do a video on these DeWalt cordless sanders, random orbital sanders. I got two different ones. Oh, actually, they're the same sanders, just two different kits. This one's the DCW 210D1, and it comes with all of the pieces, the battery, the charger, and the bag. And then this one right here is the same sander. It is the DCW 210B, and it does not come with the battery or the charging station come with it. So either one will work. The sanders are the same. We're going to test them out in here. We're going to see how they work in a high school setting. We're going to compare them to my Porter cable corded random orbital sanders, and we're also going to compare it to my Festool random orbital sander as well. So this kit right here, the 210D1, this thing right here comes with the battery. Let's see here. It's a 2 amp hour, 20 volt battery right there. There's the sander, the dust bag collection, the charging station, and then like a storage bag. What I'm kind of hoping with these cordless sanders in this work area is that it will allow students to spread out a little bit more. So kind of the way we sand right now is I have a Festool under here for this workstation and a cord hanging down. So that's only like 1 or 2 students. And then I have 3 Porter cable random orbital sanders here on like a downdraft table with pretty good ventilation or dust extraction right here. So I usually keep 3 of them out, one with fine, one with medium, one with coarse grit paper. And the students kind of sand right here. It's a little crowded. So I'm hoping with these cordless ones, we'll be able to find other places to sand in the wood shop and maybe get a little bit better finish. All right, here's the sander right here. It is a brushless motor. It does come with the dust bag, but not the battery and not the sandpaper. One thing about this dust bag right here is it actually fits on there really nicely. It slides on, and it's a really positive lock on there. So the other one I've been trying out works really well. This thing doesn't come off, doesn't get loose. You could use this thing either with a dust bag like this, which I actually really like a lot, or that DeWalt vacuum. I think I did a previous video on it, hook right up to here and work on here really nicely. Here's a 2 amp hour DeWalt battery that just slides right in here. Here's a battery check on there. Even though it's not going to last very long with the 2 amp hours instead of 4 amp hours, it does keep the thing really nicely balanced. When I've used the larger batteries on here, it does kind of ride a little bit more like this. Put the dust vac back on. It's a 5-inch random orbital sander. This is a hook and loop. I think Velcro is a brand name. It has an 8-hole pattern. I like these sandpapers a lot. They seem to hold up pretty well. Not that expensive, but they still hold pretty well. I've got some really cheap ones before, and they don't work at all. You just keep pulling them on and off all the time. So this is an 8-hole pattern. Here's an 8-hole sander. You just line those holes up. It goes on there. If you want to change out your grit, super easy to keep reusing this. This is a 220. Here's a 5-hole pattern one. You could tell there's no way any of those holes are going to line up, so this will just kind of keep your dust down on the material and won't do anything. So here we are, sandpaper battery dust bag. Here's on and off. And then variable speed here. It goes from 8,000 to 12,000 orbits per minute, OPM. Turn it on here, I'll let you listen to that. There's 8,000 to 12,000. Kind of depending on your grit and the type of wood you're sanding on. All right, let's go in the shop, see how it works. All right, I have a pretty old piece of pine. It's nice and dry, a little bit of mildew on it. And you can see right here, these are the bandsaw marks on it from milling it ourselves. So this hasn't gone in the planer or anything. Here's a Porter cable sander. This is a corded one, not variable speed, just on and off. We'll put brand new, good Lord, look at that. We'll put brand new 80 grit paper on it, 8-hole pattern as well. See if we can double fist this. Here's a DeWalt with a fully charged battery. We'll also put a brand new 80 grit paper on this one. And then we'll just kind of sand here. And we're going to turn that speed up to, I don't know, like a mid speed, so like 4 or 5. Yeah. Okay, well, that wasn't a time lapse at all. That Porter cable, it is corded, so it's really not fair. And this is a 2 amp hour battery, but you could see this one actually did more sanding than that one in that short amount of time. I mean, this isn't really a scientific test by any means, but you can see how well the DeWalt does, but the corded one clearly does better. Let's see if we can find another sander. Obviously kind of known as the best orbital sander on the market, the Festool ETS 125. This thing is a cat's meow right here. It also has an 8-hole pattern. Put a new sheet of 80 grit on there. Oh no, of course this is Festool, so I can't really use a comparable one. Well, we won't get any vac on this, but it'll be the same sandpaper. It is hooked up to the Festool vac. Again, these things are super expensive. It has kind of the same variable speed on here. We'll put it on like a mid speed. Kind of move that board down a little bit. Put these two side by side. Again, this is the Festool corded orbital sander with the same grit as this DeWalt right here. Obviously, you can't really expect the same results. And you can see this one came down a lot quicker, a lot easier. And then there's the battery-operated DeWalt. I don't know if you could compare these. And it wasn't the same time frame either. But going back over here, this was the Porter cable corded one to the DeWalt. The Festool to the DeWalt. So there they all are there. Kind of interesting. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas on this thing. I do really love the idea of a battery operated orbital sander. It's really going to help open the shop up and give students a lot more places to work. I do certainly recognize how lucky we are in this high school wood shop to have a Festool. That was actually grant fund, certainly not taxpayer dollars. It was a grant I applied for and got a bunch of Festool tools. All right, well, I do like that DeWalt a lot. It is not a corded sander, but I guess I don't really advertise it as one. I think it's really going to come in handy. You know, if my students would actually empty those dust bags or change the sandpaper, that would actually probably improve our sanding more than anything. As you can see right here, this is the sandpaper I just took off. This thing was probably used up a long time ago, and it's still on there. Once I had a student sanding and sanding, telling me it wasn't doing anything, and I came out and I looked at the sander, and there wasn't a pad on there, but that Velcro on the bottom was pretty well polished. So, high school wood shop, I'm loving it. All right, thank you for watching.